NASCAR fans in the country as a whole continue to grieve the loss of racing legend Greg Biffle and his family, along with 3 others. They were all killed Thursday in a plane crash that was headed to Sarasota. Just in the last few hours, 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Annie Krall heard from the racing community about the champion's legacy.
Drag racing. A sport based on how fast you can get from point A to point B. But grief is not experienced in a straight line.
Tragic doesn't even begin to touch the surface.
That's how some of the hundreds of people felt after retired NASCAR driver Greg Biffle was killed in a business jet crash, flying with his wife Christina, their 14-year-old daughter Emma, and 5-year-old son, Ryder.
My coworker's phone was blowing up. She grew up across the street from it, North Carolina. So we were hearing about it before it was really breaking news because it was so local on the spot that the locals were calling my coworker, who was sitting like 5 feet from me.
A close friend, Garrett Mitchell, known online as Cletus McFarland, said on social media the Biffle family was making their way from North Carolina to see him as he was about to host the 6th annual Christmas tree drags.
It feels a little bit somber, yet also a celebration. Because, like Cleet said, I think Biff would want this show to go.
People lost a legend. A lot of people looked up to him, and it's going to hurt for a long time.
Back in 1998, Greg Biffle won the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Rookie of the Year, and then 2 years later, he won the series championship. He meant so much to this sport, and families tell us they loved watching him decades ago, but it means so much more to them that they can bring their children to a track like this and understand the sports even more.
Because everybody started watching what he did after the hurricane that hit North Carolina, and he used his own resources, his own helicopter, him and Cleet both, with Consuela, his helicopter, Cletus' helicopter. They both got together and did airdrops to people on the sides of mountains in North Carolina, and he put his money where his mouth is, and that's really what separates people that talk the talk. You know, Greg Biffle walked the walk.
Attendees at the Bradenton Motorsports Park, owned by Mitchell, tell us Greg provided invaluable life lessons.
You don't know if you've got decades or hours in this world. So come to events like this or things that you enjoy, be with the ones you love, and live.
Annie Krall, 10 Tampa Bay News.
Beautiful tribute to him and his family. Federal investigators are trying to figure out why the jet tried to return to the airport shortly after takeoff, hitting light poles and trees about 1/3 of a mile from the airport's runway. Investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board say they have recovered the cockpit voice recorder.